When you see a child dance like this, what comes to mind? Do you think it's cute, funny, or even deserves applause? Many people see nothing wrong with children dressed up as adults or dancing like people several times their age. However, the extent of adult behavior some children mimic has some parents worried. Part of the problem lies in the fact that many adult dances, such as the bend over, simulate sexual acts. Children who see adults performing these moves at parties or in the media will often mimic that behavior. Children are also bombarded with discussions or images depicting or glorifying sexual behavior. It is everywhere, from popular music videos that air on television to the content on FM stations and clips shared via cell phones. And while the worst form of sexual content is easy to spot and avoid, a more subtle kind is on the prowl. Experts warn that this is the first step on a path that almost certainly leads to some form of sexual exploitation of children.
The way one sees how our children are being raised and how they are mimicking the adult's behavior has some negative impact on the normal development of children. It has major implications though, that in our society now in Kenya, for example, I think there will be an outcry of increase of sexual abuse of children or violence against women, sexual violence against women. This has actually direct correlation between the way we actually expose our children and the way we also do our things.
Tony Odera is a child rights lawyer. He has in the last 5 years prosecuted countless sexual offense cases related to children. And these children stream in by the day here at the Kibera Center for Legal Aid and Human Rights. He worries that more and more children are both victims and offenders in such cases.
Most of the victims of sexual violence who have not been able to go through some process of recovery are now growing up into offenders themselves. And you have a typical situation of a boy who has been sodomized. Parents are not at home. Parents have left him in charge of his other minor siblings. There are very high chances that he will actually be able to met out the same on his siblings.
While parental control is easy to access on paid TV, there remain many other mediums where children can be exposed to sexual content. Mobile service provider Safaricom is now developing a parental control feature in a bid to limit the sexual content children can get via the internet and on their mobile phones.
We're developing two major parental control features. One is centered around internet. Now, the internet control feature enables the parent to control when their child goes to the internet. Secondly, what the child is able to access through the net. So it gives you the ability to block certain websites. Around calling and SMS, the parental control feature will allow the parents to whitelist the numbers that you can call their children. You can also put down the time when your child can access their phones. In addition to that, you can also have a copy of all the text messages that your child receives, just to give you that sense of comfort over and above restricting who can access your child.
So we live in a society that is increasingly public about its sexual nature, and while that might be the right for adults, children have a right to be protected and a right to innocence, and at no time has this right come under greater threat than now. For KTN Saturday Night, I'm Anne Hibbert.